we're going to get to know the team a little bit today. We are going to go over the plan for 2026. We are going to go over contingencies moving over into 2027 and beyond. And we are also going to talk about additional contingencies and amendments to existing contingencies based on your guys' input. I need to find my script, because this is the wrong document. That's not it either. Nope. Which tab is it in? Which window is it?
Oh, look at that. Having 50 plus tabs open, coming to bite you in the ass.
You know what? They added the tab search bar, so it's fine. It's perfectly fine. That is also the wrong one. This is very bright.
You know better. You know better.
Sorry about the dog. Cannot be helped. Not this time. I don't know what buttons, like, if I pressed buttons, I don't know what would shut off OBS, what would turn on OBS streaming, what would mess with Audacity. I'm not touching
YouTube.
Hey, Sasha.
Yeah, I'm just not touching things. Touching things is a bad idea. Do you guys want to wait another 5 minutes, or do you want to just go?
I don't really care.
If this is being recorded, we can share notes with whoever isn't here.
That is very true.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Trevor Saxon, founding member of Mission Smith Studio. I am the primary funder, writer, and, like, commander-manager dude of MSS. I've been solo running the operation for a few years now, like before the company was the company, as most of you will already know. I have a script here I'm trying to, like, go through. The purpose of this meeting is to evaluate what we have as an organization as far as talent, willing participants, etc. And I didn't finish that part of the script. That's really funny. Okay. So we're just we're gonna go down the line, or like I'm gonna go down the line of the people that we have. And we're going a little off script because I was not expecting Scott to be here. So, firstly, we have Angel, who has done a lot of proofreading and stuff. We have Aragon, who, that poor man has been waiting for me to, like, call upon him to do coding stuff for years now. We have Dante, who's kind of a mentor of mathematics, tabletop games, and recently business. Has been giving me a lot of business advice. Dante, you know the exact thing I'm talking about.
I recall, yes.
Garg, you've done 3D stuff for me in the past, like 3D modeling whatnots. Klutz, who is currently acting as an art contractor for MSS. Matthias, who has been the advisor for historical things and tabletops, specifically Battletech in this case. Melkin, who has done proofreading stuff for me, and he's probably the only one that has, like, physically laid his hands upon the tabletop game that was in development.
Yep.
Then we have Scott, who has done video editing stuff, audio stuff. He's just been a real treat to work with overall. And
I'm also a
last-
professional programmer.
Oh, yeah. And he's one of the people that I was going to have do video game stuff. I would say Sniper, or like I would go over Sniper and Outlaws things, but they aren't here. So we will go down the list of people alphabetically from Angel to Sniper. You'll give your name, you'll express your desire to help out the mission, and describe what it is that you bring to the table and or would like to bring to the table. So Angel will go ahead. Floor.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I don't know how to answer any of those questions because I am willing to help however I can. So I've done reading because I like to read and the subjective, non-military based opinion. I don't know what else to say except hi guys.
All right. Well, hello. Let's see.
You'll have to forgive her. She's the diversity hire.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Wow.
That's mean.
I'm sorry. That how many opportunities do you got? I'm sorry.
No,
She'll
you're
hit me
No,
later.
I'll take that. I
Yeah.
don't mind being a girl.
Nice.
Boo!
All right, next up, we have Aragon. You have the floor, buddy.
So hello, I'm Aragon. Nice to meet you all. I'm a programmer, primarily in C#, but also C++, Java, all that sort of stuff. I also do some light 3D modeling and texturing, but that's really not my primary interest. And so
Okay.
I'm hoping to, have either of those things.
All right. We'll get into how you will fit into the plan later on in the meeting. I know there's not a lot of stuff going on right now, primarily due to the financials and all that. But again, we'll get to that. And I've lost my list again. There we go. Dante.
Hello, Dante. Let's see. Mechanical engineer by trade. Though I haven't actually worked as a mechanical engineer at all, though I have been working in conjunction with engineering for over 7 years at this point. Hobbies are math, chemistry. I've dabbled in coding. I understand most mathematics that could be asked of a, I'd say, sane person. Yeah. I've worked in a corporate environment for 7 years in a company with over 160,000 employees.
Wow.
I think that's about it on that topic. As to what I can bring to here and what I intend to bring to here, I can do more or less anything that is needed, wanted, or otherwise is lacking, I guess.
Okay. And I know that you're a busy guy, so I'm not gonna ask like too awful much of you. But again, we'll get to
Work you to the bone.
No, this is fine. People can pester me whenever they want. It doesn't bother me. I have people who ask me stuff constantly. This is mostly due to Foxhole, but I'm used to it.
Yeah. So you have your fair share of let's say tolerance
Herding cats.
of yeah. There you go.
Yes.
There you go. That's a
Herding
good one.
cats
That's a good way of putting it.
I run logistics for a group, so it's yeah.
You're
to do
used to
now.
herding cats.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have Garg.
Hi, I'm Garg. I do 3D modeling and texturing. That's my main specialty. Pretty much anything related to that: organic modeling, hard modeling, UV mapping, a little bit of rigging, though I'm not very good at that. And yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
All right, cool. Next up, we have Klutz.
Yo. I do drawing. Kind of just here because always love an excuse to draw. So
All right, there you go.
I'm going into college, so I'm doing lots of that kind of stuff, taking classes.
All right. You doing like art college or?
No, I'm going to do like industrial engineering, most likely.
Ooh. Well, look at that. You have somebody in here that might be able to give you a hand with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next up, Matthias.
Hi, I'm Matthias, and do I have to?
No, this is all completely voluntary.
So you're saying I
Please.
could just abstain completely. Got it.
Yeah, you
Anyway.
can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I was just said, hey, are you coming to the meeting? I was like, what? It's like, you're coming to the meeting. And okay, I guess I'm here now.
You didn't. Okay.
I didn't read anything, okay? If anything, I'm comic relief.
All right. I can accept that.
He's the eye candy.
The eye
Silence.
candy, yeah.
He's the eye candy secretary who's typing on the keyboard that's not plugged up.
No.
But yeah, I'm a amateur historian, and I guess. And I know some things about Battletech, I guess. For the glory of the clans, for honor's sake, in Kerensky's name! I don't know. Can we skip the next person, please?
What do you mean skip the next person? You mean skip to the next person?
That's what I said.
No.
No, you said skip the next person, please.
There's a
Yeah, he just hates you,
skip.
honestly, is what it is.
I see how it is. I fucking stay up late and have philosophical debates and all that fun stuff, and you just like skip them.
I'm here
there's
for
an
the
Uno
internet.
card that does that.
Yeah, I can be.
That's funny. All right. Hi, Melkin.
Hi, I'm Melkin. Not the oldest person here. Probably close to the oldest person here. I am technically unemployed, but I am a general knowledge holder, esoteric knowledge, weird shit, random facts. The kind of person who you have around when you go, I need to know this, you go to me. You know, sure, a lot of that's Google, but also it's just stuff that I've learned. But I know what to search, when to search, how to search, and all that fun stuff, and where to actually find if it's not on the internet. Because, you know, growing up in a time without the internet means I know where to look. But, you know, I'm also proofreader and just general advice giver.
I dig it. Next up would be Outlaw if he was here, and then Sniper if he was here. But replacing both of those two is Scott.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm a professional software developer. I also run a side business that does video production. I do all sorts of different types of video. I've done narrative work. I've done advertisements. I've done event photography. So that's one area that I work in. Other than that, I do Java programming mainly, but really I have a motto that I kind of live life by where if I don't know it, I can learn it, right? So yeah, so in that way, I'm also just kind of a generalist. But my main parts are programming and video production, and the amount of time that I can put into any given project for Mission Smith, that's going to depend really heavily upon the project and what I have on my table. But for all, I consider you a good friend, so I do what I can.
Appreciate it, man. So just so you guys know, the commercial that I was showing you guys before? Did anybody watch that when I sent it?
I watched it.
You're gonna have to be more specific of.
And we actually watched it again earlier.
So that video was Scott's doing.
Nice.
So when it comes to commercial work, he is the man.
Yep. And Faral and I talked also. Faral, we talked, and I think we kind of came to the agreement that there would be, if there was a game, like a video game being made, right? You'd make like a kind of a Kanban or like a list of to-dos, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all of the like pieces that needed doing, and I might be able to take like one or two tasks as I had time or whatever, right?
Right.
Right.
All right. So that is everybody introduced. Let's get into kind of the meat and potatoes of what's going on, because man, strap in, this is about to be fun. And by fun, I mean long. Sorry. I did say I'd try to keep it under 3 hours.
Yeah, let's try that.
All right.
If it goes over, I already have the razor blades ready.
Understood.
The what?
The razor blades.
Okay.
All right. So, in short, the company, and I'm just going to read straight from the script. I'm not going to try to improvise or anything. The company has about $5,200 to play with each year, depending on health and availability. With this $5,200, I must pay for things to be done, such as copyright, art, subscription services, etc., for the company. For this year, I have to pay for enough art to fill the art book / lore book. I have to pay for somebody to proofread it and lore proof it against End of an Era Borisov's Beginning and other miscellaneous business expenses. Now, the plan as it goes for this year, like I said, we're going to be releasing the End of an Era Masquerade War lore book. It's still a work in progress title. Might not be the final one, but that's what we got. We also have the spoiler summary video thing for End of an Era Borisov's Beginning. We have the background story for major characters of said book, world events that happened during that book. Both of those videos would have a part 2. I plan on having a summary for End of an Era, The Masquerade War, out by like October. Probably release End of an Era, The Masquerade War, and or announce the End of an Era, Borisov's Beginning audiobook, because that's the thing that we're going to do, and I'll probably need your guys' help with that, depending on if I decide to choose more than just me as the voice actor. December of 2026 is going to be the yearly report. Forgot to mention there would also be quarterly reports in there, but they're not really super conducive as a product. Does that make sense? Okay. I believe the very muffled Melkin that just happened.
I don't know why it was muffled. Like I said, it was a little turned away, but yes, I understand it.
I think it was like your sound gate or something that was messing with you. Anybody have any questions? No?
No, makes sense.
All right, we'll move on. The current known contingency. Wow, what the
YouTube
hell is even that? Sorry. We're going to continue on the path of the 5,200 a year. Just like that. That's our known quantity. That is not enough to pay for all of the art in art books, which are supposed to be done in a year, assuming that every picture is $150 and every art book is 100 pages. I'd have to pay out of pocket even more just to keep the company upright if we did an art book every year. It sucks, but I did say in the previous video, if anybody watched that, that this is about dreams, not money.
And dreams come true.
And then
Well, we already have more of a plan than the fucking
YouTube.
devs for Trench Crusade, so there's that.
You know,
What is
he's got a
Trench-
point.
what is Trench-
Don't. It was an attempt to be a new tabletop war game that fell through within a month.
Yeah, pretty much. The
Incredible.
the miniatures were of terrible
They look
quality.
bad.
YouTube.
Like they looked great. It's just they had resin pockets in them, and then the gas built up, and then they basically became little tiny chemical weapons. That blew
that's
up.
awesome.
Yeah, until you breathe in the resin and get cancer 20 years later.
They were also going to have the prints available for free, and they, backpedaled on that hard, and then they started, selling plastic minis instead of
I'll be right back.
resin ones.
So
They
I
also
guess-
started striking anyone who was making their content. So there's also that.
I guess since we're touching on tabletops, I'll go ahead and poke the tabletop thing really quick. So tabletops are notoriously expensive to make, which is why we could forego making our own pieces for the most part and just make the game in one... I'm trying to figure out how to read this. So 1/42 ratio is how do you say that?
1/42.
Yeah, 142 scale.
Yeah, 1/42 scale. So if we make the entire game in 1/42 scale, there's so many models and stuff online in or not 1/42, 1/72. My bad. Either way, there's a lot of models. That's like the primary size scaling ratio. Very neat stuff. This would cut down on the development time and fund requirements. We could sell the books at fairly cheap if we decided to go that route, or we can make them free as a PDF. So then the tabletop would be on the lips of tabletop war gamers and could draw attention to the lore of our universe. I wouldn't be able to pay people right now, but volunteer work to make the wargaming world a better place would be great. Downright substantial. Just I know, like, I poked Dante, I poked Corporal, I poked Melkin, and I poked Sniper, and we were going to do this a while ago, and then life got in the way, as it does. The contingencies, and by contingencies, I mean the primary plan, but, like, forward. We're going to be doing the Ukraine war story, that should be coming out in 2027. We'll have the Russo-Ukraine War lore book in 2028. The Tale of Philip Thompson in 2029. The Fortune Fall lore book in 2030. The Anthology of Transition book 2031. Again, all of this assumes that the lore doesn't change, because I'm still writing it. The Transition lore book in 2032, World War III lore book in 2034, and the Aftermath lore book in, we'll say, 2035, 2036. We also have the video games. Virtual Tabletop Wargame version 1 in 2030, and then every subsequent version, expansion 1, version 2, expansion 2, version 3, expansion 3, and then version 3, the 4X. Basically, all just come out as soon as they possibly can. And then we have the Milsim. This is like the big goal, the one that's going to cost the most money that hopefully the most people will play. I know I will, because it will be Arma, more or less. That would be somewhere between 2036 and 2048. I want to not be 50 years old when this game comes out. So let's, you know what I mean? As for videos, I have 8 videos explaining the End of an Era Masquerade War book and 24 to 27 audio book chapters. These will be 2027 if I did not state that already. The tabletop itself, like not the virtual one, but like the actual pen and paper one, that's going to be difficult. I don't even have dates or anything marked on it because I've set it on the side burner or the back burner. You know what I mean? So that is the current contingency, the current like plan, but way forward in the future. Any questions?
I mean, I assume this plan is subject to change.
Of course.
Can't really predict, 10 years in the future?
Yes. Yes, we cannot even really prepare for a year from now. But I am doing what I can.
Subject to explosive decompression.
Unfortunately.
All plans fail in the face of the enemy.
All plans, yeah. Well, not fail, but fall apart for sure.
Yeah.
At first contact. Okay, so, do you guys feel like you need to take a breather, or you want to keep going?
You may fire when ready.
Stop here.
Okay, that seemed like the general consensus was forward march.
I'm back.
Hey, that's
Fallout
perfect.
Mana.
Forward march. Go live. Go live. Go military live.
Now we're going to talk about income.
Oh.
This is going to be
incredible.
I want you to squeeze.
What?
You know,
YouTube.
Raban, I want you to squeeze. Get me income. Get me spice.
Oh, okay.
The Baron Raban.
Yep.
I think I'm only here for comedic relief. That's why I'm here.
Excuse me.
No, you've got your value. You do.
Like I said, the eye candy who's typing on the keyboard that doesn't plug in anything.
Man.
We replaced him with
He's here for moral support.
we replaced yeah. We actually replaced the keyboard with text to speech like years ago when it got good, but you know, some people feel good clacking away at that thing.
Even worse, it's one of those kids' keyboards, just pictures with the different animals on it.
Lizard,
Oh,
lizard,
no.
Cow.
lizard,
Sheep.
lizard, lizard.
Enough distractions for me, sorry.
Nah, you're good. All right. Depending on what my personal future holds in the world of recreational vehicles and successes with our projects, my personal yearly income will improve considerably, which will translate into additional gains for the LLC and therefore you guys as contractors and fans. We will first discuss 30,000. Though a small increase, and the most probable outcome of my first year in the RV fixing business, 30,000 will give the company an $800 yearly increase, up to 6,000 per year from 5,200. At the current going rate of art book art, that's like 5 extra pictures per year. The contingency I mentioned previously would not change all that much. $50,000.
To keep question about the 30,000.
Shoot, what you got?
Are you also including investments and diversifying?
No, I'm not including that in the thing. I heard silver is really good right now.
Hard metals go up and down a lot. Silver and gold would be a decent investment, but don't put all your nest eggs in it because hard metal, any kind of metal like that, could just belly up. Crypto is decent currently, but again, same instance. Not to sound like a weirdo, graphene is also a decent investment. I've heard people who invested in it.
Ian, dude.
Yeah, I know, but it's true. Graphene has become pretty stable, and hell, even Tim talks about he invested in like 6 different graphene companies. Every single one of them brought him a profit. So,
I mean, you can
Isn't
always
that the
just
stuff
invest
that they
in-
make pencils out of?
No, that's
that's
graphite.
graphite.
Oh, yeah. You can always invest in
I knew
like,
that.
just the S&P 500 or something. I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed to make a profit in the S&P 500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the current president at the helm, the S&P 500 is
YouTube.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said,
They'll always beat inflation at the least.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm gonna say
You know that
diversifying.
there's 34 points of inflation? That didn't work the way I wanted it to.
I
Shut
knew
up.
what you were trying to do.
You know, it took me a second, but I realized it too, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna punch you next whenever we fucking
YouTube.
for that.
YouTube.
All right.
Okay, so never mind. I was gonna say something. Never mind.
Okay. We'll get around to it. 50,000. To keep it brief, my real life expenses come before anything else. In the case of a 50,000 a year income, I'd have to add an additional account to help pay for my debt, turning the divided amount from 5 to 6. What would have been a 10,000 a year addition to the company would turn into 8,300 some odd per year. This would allow the company to effectively pay for itself and be able to do one art book every year. Not that that's the goal, as stated in the previous list of contingencies. We'd have... Why is it so hard to say 8,300 some odd to play with every other year. I feel like I was meant to take that out of the script. There's many things that we could do with that kind of money. We could squirrel it away to pay for better artists. We could put it toward paying a team of devs to do the tabletop stuff.
Like, you mean more artists?
That too, yeah, more artists. If we don't do the quality route, we'll do the quantity route. Tabletop wargame deving, especially with a 3D printer, would be stupid simple to test once the rules were in place and a few people were proficient in how the game is played. Ideally, the devs would be a bunch of jobless nerds who could work on it and talk about it all the time, but
Melkin?
we'll discuss that later.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I
You can
wasn't
always just use
targeting
Tabletop
you.
Simulator.
That's also
That was
true.
that was corporal because he's like Melkin. I'm like, motherfucker, I'll beat you.
YouTube.
I was not targeting you, man. I really wasn't. And last but not least, I forgot to space this correctly. There we go. 70,000. To piggyback off the 50K contingency, my life comes before the company. 6-way split as opposed to 5-way split, turning what would have been 14,000 into 11,600. This is more than double the original contingency, that being like 30,000, or no, not 30,000, the 26,000 I make now a year. With that kind of money, we could do some serious damage. I mean, business. Not
Wow,
only...
that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. How about a little more?
We can buy so many plastic sporks with that.
No.
Can drag you to Anthrocon so many
YouTube.
times.
Not only does the company pay for itself, and we can make one art book every year if we wanted to, but it actually saves money to use for future projects. I feel like there was a typo there, but we're ignoring that. This means we can afford to hire a team to work on the tabletop and or video games. 4K is what we would have at the end of an art book year. 10,000 is what we would have at the end of a story year. Because I don't know if y'all remember, but we story, art book, story, art book, story, art book, and just follow that pattern. That's what I mean by that. 14,000 is nothing to shake a stick at, and so much could be done with that type of money.
Yeah, there's a decent amount.
As stated previously, we could probably dev the tabletop game with very little issues. Might even be able to pay for some end-of-an-era specific units rather than just some 3D printed tanks and a couple of cardboard circles. Might even be able to pay somebody to start developing the dream. Oh, hey, Sniper joined, like, right at the end.
Incredible.
Oh,
and
I was just about to say typical Canadian late to the show. Oh, there.
Oh,
and he's
don't.
back.
Don't.
Hello there.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Sorry for that. I fell asleep.
No, you're good. I figured that something happened to you.
Yeah, and I mean, a bad time. I'm way too tired for this.
I'm sorry, dude. We're almost done. I'll
sorry.
have you look back over the recording. I'll probably post this up on YouTube at some point.
Quick question. Is the art book the same as the lore book?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say you want to release one each year, is each year's art/lore book gonna focus on like a different faction or event, or is there a plan for that?
So the plan is to release an art book every other year. That was just a measurement of sorts. And I have to pull out the calculator again. $150 times 50 pages. It's about $7,500 of art if I were to fill the whole thing with like the good stuff, which for Masquerade War I am not. I've done quite a bit of the art myself. So 7,500 is like the metric. So when I say lore book's worth like 7,500, assuming we keep to the 100-page, metric standard thing, you know what I'm saying?
100-page dogma.
100-page dogma. I like that.
Just an idea. Just an idea. If you cut it down to like say maybe 30 to 60 pages, you could make it into like a zine, like a magazine type thing. You could put one out twice a year, and especially if you put in stuff that was maybe cheaper to do than full illustrations. Let's say some of the pages are maps, or some of the pages are documents, right? From the world. Those won't cost you as much as a full page illustration would, and maybe you could get the cost down a little. Actually, do one every year, which just a thought. We can talk more about that later.
Yep, I have a whole section dedicated to that. Godspeed, sir. So again, the dream is to basically just make an Arma clone that can run on most computers reliably.
Arma 4 comes out.
Oh yeah, Arma 4 is coming out next year, guys, by the way.
Crazy.
I'm
also,
kind of excited.
I'm excited. Yeah, I have to go.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. So, last but not least is 26,000 or less. There's an unfortunately high probability that we don't hit anywhere near the previous numbers. Perhaps my income remains the same, or it drops for one reason or another. Simply, the amount of income decreases, and so too does the amount of stuff that gets put out. I know.
Plan for everything.
I'm gonna read through a script, and it's gonna sound beggy. And this is going to go toward the people that may or may not be watching this on YouTube or wherever I decide to put it. Yes, let me put on the yarmulke.
Assume the position.
No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna do that.
Better not do that for YouTube.
I am once again.
Could you please give me money?
I may need. No. I need, right now, financial assistance. The more money we put into this, the better quality and quantity we can produce. I may need help getting Patreon, Subscribestar, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, my website, etc. working. I'm not sure I was going with that. Just help. Help. We need it.
Help me.
Attention, gamers! Oh god, that happened years ago now.
YouTube.
What?
Wait, what was it? Attention game? Did it have no? I feel like the gritty was a thing that was the gritty a 5 years ago thing or like a few years or a couple years ago thing.
Frack if I know.
I'm trying to remember what that even was from.
It was a meme where some announcer guy would be like, "Attention gamers, X character needs your financial assistance. So
Oh,
could you
yeah.
please
Dial the
put
credit
your,
card.
credit card information?"
He was funny. He knew what he
Melkin
was
gave
doing.
all his money to Chun-Li.
What was that? What was that, Melkin?
I'm thinking if that's anywhere viable.
Are you giving money to enemy women?
No. I think if I had
YouTube.
money, I'd give it. I'm getting some real something.
I was about to say, you're about to say, don't answer that, but no. Sorry,
I'm not going to say any more than that, considering this might get posted somewhere that might break
YouTube
terms of service.
Don't worry about it. Okay, because I can always censor it. I could always do the. Where's my YouTube editor? Put it.
YouTube.
By editor, I mean me. It's just
YouTube.
Okay, it'll make sense in post.
That's what they all say.
This could have been on email.
After receiving all of this information, I'd like to hear your thoughts on how we could change the plans and the contingencies moving forward. I know I left very little time to prepare for this, and I'm sorry about that. I apologize. This did have to happen sooner or later. Like, it needed to happen sooner or later. Oh my god. Morty. Pickle. So let us go down the list alphabetically once more. We'll start with Angel. Hi, Angel.
Hi.
He's trying to be all sweet, so run.
Bruh. She's
And that
taken.
me-
I'm trying
you.
not to get between a man and a woman anymore.
What? I'm confused.
Y'all don't need to know.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Later.
Yes, later.
What?
I don't think I have any contingency things.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think I have any contingencies or amendments or
That's fine.
anything like that. I'm just the emotional support. So
You do a bit more than that, but I get what you're saying. Aragon.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. I think the plan is sound so far from what I heard.
Okay. After the video is said and done, you and I, well, there's a lot of people here that I'm going to have to speak privately with regarding project stuff. Because there's just a lot, man. There's just a lot. Dante.
The only thing I can add to that is that I may be forced into my manager's role here shortly and be absolutely consumed by work.
Oh.
Which has nothing to do with this, but just as a forewarning.
I can see where that would affect the plan a little bit.
We've burnt through 4 managers in a year.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, not good. But yeah, other than that, nothing I can think of.
Think you can handle it? I'm saying
I
it
might
as a
go a little
concerned
bit
friend.
crazy. Might go a little bit crazy. I think I'll be okay.
I believe in you. You can do it. Garg. I was about to call you Greg. My bad.
Too. Yeah, not too bad as well. Yeah.
Don't have any additions or amendments that you can think of for the plan?
I'll be honest, a lot of the stuff goes over my head, especially a lot of the numbers. So it's hard for me to really give an opinion on.
I'm gonna electrocute your
YouTube.
fucking dog.
You will
But-
not. He is a good boy.
But you're not Turkish. Editor, cut that out. Oh,
That's your
you-
job.
Do you mind if I make some suggestions?
sure. We'll get to you though.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just like going down the line of people. Hi, Corporal.
Hi. So I think I speak for the majority of us here that I have no fracking idea what's going on, and I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. Fair enough. I know this is like the very first meeting, and I've been putting out videos, doing monthly updates and whatnot for the past few months. My dog's being incredibly annoying, and I'm sorry about that. Dog, you don't need... Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
You can't tell him nothing. The moment he gets thought in his head, in his tiny wrinkly head, he just loses it. Melkin.
Hey, at least it's not a smoke alarm.
Bing. The Skybird calls. At any rate, other than making sure you look into actual diversifying, like not just like I said, the S&P is never a bad thing, but
So like
look
a
into
me thing rather than like a company thing.
well, both. This is never a thing. Like a big thing is like a return on your investments on it. So something. The S&P is like your backup. Like you're guaranteed to make money off that. So that way it could be a constant. But look into startup companies, look into stuff with your knowledge of what's going on and everything, and actually go, this company is working on that. I know that's on the rise. Invest early. And you might be surprised on the returns you can get. But remember it as it is high risk, high reward. Company could go under, be bought out. If it's bought out, that's a good thing for you as a shareholder. It means you can get a cut of that. But diversifying from multiple points so that way your income can be maintained is always a great contingency. Hard assets are also something that you may want to look into, which is something like buying actual gold coins or silver bullion or things of that nature that are actual physical physical things. So that way if something goes tits, like investing in gold is one thing, but actually having a gold coin, like an actual solid gold bullion, not gold bullion, yeah, gold bullion or silver bullion, like bar,
Yeah.
means that you have that in cash form, essentially. That is a investment on you that you can squirrel away in your house that you can then take and sell at any point so long as the market's good and double, triple your money, depending on how it goes.
Fair enough.
Things like that. Anything hard asset wise though. So your guns could also count technically, but their value is going to be entirely dependent on how well you take care of it versus just existing.
Right.
So, diversifying like that. In terms of actual other anything? I think that's it. You tapped my knowledge for the day.
All right. Who was next on the list again? He's not here. Okay, Scott, it's all you, buddy.
Okay, so the thing about contingencies in case of Mission Smith having low profits, I wanted to talk about that uh, because I don't actually think it has to cut down on anything that Mission Smith is actually doing, right? The primary things that Mission Smith is trying to do here is books, game, or tabletop game, and video game, right? And I think the key to surviving in any sort of situation here, whatever might happen, is first off modularity, right? So if you do something that's very modular, then you can increase it in later periods. Give me a second until I kind of collect my words. I'm thinking, right?
I can smell the smoke. Sorry.
Yeah. But if you release, let's say the tabletop game, right? Things that you can change if you're in a pinch are instead of little plastic figurines, maybe the first shipment is with cardboard cutouts for the figurines. It maybe it just uses standard dice. Maybe the first release of the game is a starter area and a very basic system of play, and then you can add add-ons. A lot of tabletop games do add-ons, and that way it doesn't feel incomplete. The fact that it starts well incomplete feels intentional. The other thing I'd say is if you really have a contingency where the company is kind of in a bind, uh, smaller releases but more frequent can often be cheaper than. And I said this about the lore book, for example.
Yeah,
But
the magazine type thing.
yeah, you could go even smaller than that. If you're looking to keep Mission Smith doing its thing, you could release small form PDFs, right? Dossiers, right? On some specific person, some specific event, right? And that keeps the thing alive, even though you might have issues with money, right? And I think the other thing that we need to be thinking about is like you're paying for the art, right? So maybe reusability of an asset. So something that you get for the lore book, maybe you also use for a piece, or something like that. That can be something that you do, maybe in a modified way, but that's just an idea. I don't think that, I mean, unless you're running on $0, really, I think that Mission Smith can do its thing, if that makes sense. There are a lot of good ideas where Mission Smith can continue doing its work even under low profits.
All right.
Just a few ideas.
Yeah. I vaguely, well, not vaguely. I wrote the script. There's something that I was going to put out a little bit throughout the year is like, hey, this is a video regarding the lore of this book. And I was asking Brandon if I could have some more music. I was also asking Mike and Aaron if I could have some music from them, because they're actually some pretty like decent composers. Mike even went as far as to say that Brandon is even more talented than he was when he worked on Undertale with Toby. Yeah, dude. We get some of that music going. We get some of the music from the Masquerade War book. We can add those into videos as well as have it for the lore book and whatnot. Good times are coming, just as long as things remain okay, like in my own personal finances.
We're all gonna die.
And actually, I'm gonna have to drop now. But thank you so much for inviting me to this.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't expecting you to come, and it was certainly a welcome surprise.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
See you later.
But
Okay. Sniper, I know you weren't really here for a lot of this. Do you have anything that you would like to add or share or whatnot before we head out for the evening?
and he's dead again.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
This could have been an email. I'm glad that your thing of 3 hours was just really, really off.
Yeah, because I was just trying to think, like, oh, God, somebody's going to say something, and then somebody's going to piggyback off of that, and then somebody's going to piggyback off of that, and then somebody's going to add an alibi to that, and it was going to be...
That
the
is fair.
D&D effect.
Yes, the D&D effect. That's exactly it. I was very pleased with how professional everyone was. Thank God. That could have gone a lot worse. And you know what? This went about as well as I thought it was. Like, this was the most optimistic that it could have been. Once more. Thank God. Because that could have been rough.
Yay.
Well, that's all I really had. I'm going to get this monkey suit off, and maybe we can play some Vintage Story after a little bit of post-video talking.
Oh, quick. I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
What?
This has been... Wait, what? What I missed?
She knew exactly where I was going to go with that, but I stopped myself.
All right. Anyway, this has been Trevor Saxon of Mission Smith Studio. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are.
YouTube.
God damn
YouTube.
it. Have a good one. MSS out.
Even worse, a lot of the models also still have resin traps, which, if you don't know what that is, are holes inside of the 3D model where liquid resin gets trapped, and eventually the resin fumes build up, and even months later this can literally break open the model. So even if you've already painted the model and are playing with them, they can suddenly break open at any moment and spill toxic liquid resin all over the table.